It is a glorious night in Tennessee, and Nashville Soccer Club is back on the pitch as consecutive wins for the boys in gold sets up a heat check match against ice-cold Charlotte. The Queen City faces the Music City, and it's next from Nashville. It is game night for Nashville Soccer Club, and at long last, tremendous crystal clear weather for a match at First Tennessee Park. A colorful sunset imminent behind the stadium, and inside of it, the boys in gold have the potential to be within 1 point at the top of the table by sunrise. It's surging Nashville, colliding for the first time this season with struggling Charlotte. For the second consecutive Saturday, we welcome you up to our broadcast booth. John Freeman, Ronnie Woodard. Nashville coming off 2 straight wins, one in the Open Cup on Tuesday, and then going back a 5-1 victory on Saturday in the USL Championship against Swope Park Rangers. Big crowd expected tonight. Finally, some good weather here in Nashville. You get the feeling the season really is starting for Nashville.
Well, they've certainly found their form in the last week, and they found their form by scoring goals early. They've put themselves in a really aggressive position by having that press and repress mentality that Coach Smith has implemented into their game this year. The addition of Carlton Belmar, Alan Wynn, Lebo Maloto gives this air of athleticism, and it allows them to pressure players back in higher in the field to get better goal scoring opportunities.
We'll have the call for you today. Down on the field is our Kelly Glendenning.
Thanks, John. Earlier before the game, I had the chance to speak with head coach Gary Smith about the reason behind Nashville's tidal wave of goals this season. Here's what he had to say.
Well, the additions of the likes of Daniel, Cameron Lancaster, I do believe that the guys that were around the group from last year have certainly stepped up their game. Matt Lagrassa's found his scoring boots earlier on than he did last year. And I think it's just a combination of better rapport in the group and 1 or 2 certainly exceptional players up front that have created some real competition. And, you know, I for one, am hoping that it continues.
And just for reference, Daniel Rios currently sits in 2nd place in the league with 7 goals scored, while the team sits in 2nd in the Eastern Conference with 18 total goals. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Kelly. It is the last USL home match of the year for Nashville until late June, and we are nearly ready to kick it off from First Tennessee Park. It's Charlotte and Nashville next. Fans getting ready at First Tennessee Park on a glorious evening. Let's take a look at our starting lineups. For Nashville, they're just 4 sleeps removed from a sold-out Open Cup victory on Tuesday night in Murfreesboro. The lineup tonight, 7 components different than the 11 that toppled South Georgia Tormenta 2. You have to think against an opponent like Charlotte that's leaking goals defensively could be a really big night for Daniel Rios.
Well, you have to always keep Rios in that lineup, don't you? He's the marquee Nashville goal scorer. His movement is clean and concise, and his finishing is clinical.
For Daniel Rios, a former member of Charlotte's Tar Heel State rivals North Carolina FC, in those 3 matches that NCFC played the Independents, Rios scored an astounding 5 goals in those 3 games last year. Meanwhile, let's take a look at Charlotte. They have struggled mightily in USL competition this season. Just 1 win for the outfit from the Queen City and an astounding 20 goals against. They have brought in reinforcements in the back line. One of them is a name that Nashville fans may remember. It's the 20-year-old Cameroonian Hassan Ndam.
Ndam's going to have his work cut out for him tonight, dealing with the multiple facets of Nashville. However, he's sturdy and he's athletically gifted, and he has the ability to shut down an attacker. He's going to be busy today.
Ndam played for New York Red Bulls 2 last year on this field, then was drafted by Cincinnati in the expansion draft. Did not play for FCC before he was loaned to Charlotte just several weeks ago. And the player that has been nominated multiple times for Young Player of the Year in the USL when playing for NYRB too. Our referee tonight is Gustavo Solorio. It's his first Nashville SC match, his 5th career night overseeing the Charlotte Independents. That is the most of any club in his career. Tonight's visitors, 3 wins, 1 loss when Solorio is in charge of their matches, with 2 penalties awarded to the North Carolinians. Supporters marched into the stadium, loud and proud as always. And after the hottest day of the year, a magnificent night has begun to settle over Tennessee. On this pitch in Germantown, a collision of 2 teams, 2 opposing fronts. Charlotte staggeringly cold, reaching towards historic lows, barreling into a Nashville team whose temperature is most rapidly rising. Who will give ground in Tennessee tonight? Week 11 of the USL Championship has the answer as we await the whistle. And away we go from First Tennessee Park. Charlotte in the blue of its city flag. Nashville plated in gold. Gary Smith's Nashville side, one of the best in the league at scoring goals. Charlotte, one of the best in the league at giving them up. Coach Smith telling us it was a coin flip what formation Charlotte would present from the opening whistle. They've alternated between a 3-back and 4-back system. And Nashville immediately going to work. It's Daniel Rios. Nearly got past Tico, the center back. Would have been a clever finish for the in-form Mexican. And Charlotte a chance to break the other way. Racing down the far side, the speedy Zion Jones, just 18 years old. 33-year-old Dom Maduro, the Ghanaian striker, awaiting his service. And Kosuke Kamura comes over to knock the ball out of bounds for the first Coca-Cola corner kick. Let's take a look at the injury report brought to you by Vanderbilt Health. Technically, it is empty. The report is due to the league offices 48 hours before kickoff. But since the release of the report, Nashville's Cam Lancaster suffered a knock in training, and that keeps him out of the 18 tonight. Enzo Martinez will provide the service in the 2nd minute. Greeted by Rios. Officials conferring. And we'll do it again. Connor Sparrow, the starting goalkeeper tonight for Nashville. 2nd corner is taken quickly and marshaled out by Rios.
You know, one thing a coach doesn't ever want to see is a wasted corner kick, especially one that hits the front netting of the goal. It's just a wasted opportunity, and it's a technical breakdown. And so, you know, I'm sure to start off the game, that's not exactly how Charlotte wanted to be in.
Temperatures reached 90 degrees today in Nashville. They're still debating whether there will be a hydration break or not in this game at the 30th minute. The temperature threshold needs to be 82 degrees or above for that to happen. Charlotte led by a manager with one of the greatest stories in coaching, Jim McGuinness, nationally famous in Ireland for his time actually as a Gaelic football coach. 2012, he led underdog Donegal to a shocking national championship. I think Leicester City level, maybe a 15 seed winning the NCAA basketball tournament, that level of upset. They painted a mural about him in that town. And then he takes a job with Celtic in soccer, parlays that into several positions with their youth teams, then takes a job in China, quits that job, and eventually makes his way as a head coach in Charlotte. On the other end, Gary Smith, a much more traditional pathway. The Englishman, father played for Tottenham, has been the Nashville coach now for its entirety as a club. Does hold that MLS title with the Colorado Rapids. Won it with both Kosuke Kimura and Matt Pickens. Two players on the Nashville roster. And in the 18 tonight, Kimura in the starting 11. Robust challenge from Afrin Taku. Dealt forward by Tribbett. Downloaded by Rios. They are swarming Rios early running.
Yeah, that was a quick double that came in from the holding midfielder from Charlotte. You can tell that they're talking about making sure that Rios doesn't get the opportunity to play positive, and so they're doubling down on him already early in this match. And that's good advice early, right? I mean, he's the leading goal scorer. He's incredibly dangerous and dynamic, and you have to manage that particular player.
And he loves to score against Charlotte.
Of course he does.
5 goals in 3 career games against the team from the Queen City. Back line tonight, 3 center backs. Ken Tribbett, Liam Doyle, and Justin Davis. It's a searching ball towards the speedy Alan Wynn. Wynn trying to find a shaft of light on the near post and catch the young Curtis Anderson cheating.
This is a lovely driven ball that got into Alan Wynn, and he is speedy, and he tried to take that isolation touch and get to that end line and draw the ball back, but he just lost it last second right out of bounds. But I think that was a glimpse of showing you what he's capable of.
Well, fans, keep up to date with us all season long. Follow our journey to Major League Soccer at NashvilleSC.com. Lebo Maloto shrugged off the challenge from Aaron Mon, the former MLS player. Nashville wants to get on with it. It's Kimura's hurried service. It's bothered Anderson. Would have been Kosuke Kimura's first goal in over 6 years. Over 150 games since Kimura last struck. Nashville has come out guns blazing in 3 of their last 4 matches. They put away Swope Park before the 20th minute. Early goals against Atlanta as well. And then against South Georgia Tormenta too. 3-2 victory on Tuesday night in Murfreesboro, which was quite a show. Packed house.
The Burrow's got some great soccer. And obviously some really good fans.
Great atmosphere as well.
Yes. Well, their women's soccer team is very successful. Their coach has been there a long time, Aston Roden, and he's done a fabulous job.
Daniel Rios grappling already with Steven Tico, 32-year-old center back from France. Was once a major French team prospect. You can see Tico just stalking Rios around the pitch. Tico was roommates with Karim Benzema back in the day. French striker when they were on several French youth national teams. He's bounced around since. Portugal, Romania, Scotland, France, United States. Well-traveled player, to say the least.
Sharing his talent. So far, the game has not quite found a rhythm. You know, you're seeing two teams that are working extremely hard. Nashville's pressing, as we talked about in the pregame, and Charlotte is really kind of sitting back and just withholding that and then looking to spree an attacking player. But neither team has really established a safe rhythm so far in this match.
Joel Johnson impeded by Justin Davis. Recruits Alan Wynn forward. Nashville expands into its back line. Rios, flag stays down. Over top towards Alan Wynn. Back towards Rios and Belmar. It falls for Lebo Meloto. Struck off the defender, Mikel Maria, and out for a Coca-Cola corner kick. Meloto has not scored this year. Had 7 goals last year. He faces tonight an 18-year-old goalkeeper in Curtis Anderson. Nashville takes the corner quickly. Tribbett back towards Belmar. It's returned to the center back. Charlotte holding a high line. Hoisted in towards Liam Doyle. Lebo Meloto again. Training his sights and showing his fangs in the 10th minute.
I like the look of that. That's 2 back-to-back shots that he's received right outside the 18, which is exactly where you want your 10 to get that ball. And he's striking a good ball. He's just a bit off frame, but I like the mentality that he has right now. He's not overthinking it. He's not over-touching it. He's not taking too many looks on frame. He's just getting it and taking a good, strong strike.
Meloto coming off a full 90-minute performance on Tuesday in the U.S. Open Cup. Win. Meloto. Pressure diffused by LaGrassa. Reed inherits. Preserved by Rios. It's an intricate expansion for Nashville. Win. Turning inward. Meloto. Kimura. Belmar. Options in the box include Wynn and Rios. Belmar's cross deflected and saved by Anderson. Nearly an own goal.
Oh yeah, that was a great reflex save.
Retrieved by LaGrassa, stirred forward towards Wynn, poked back for Davis. Davis! An onslaught from Nashville, 12 minutes in, and they are bombarding the nets.
That was a great look. The movement from Justin Davis to combine to get into the final third was great. He's just going to have to take that moment to exhale. Look at this combination from Wynn back in. Great addition. He's just got to get his hips around that ball. That ball needs to be driven on the ground to the far post. Make Anderson have to leave his feet and make a save.
And Gary Smith told us the game plan when we talked to him earlier this week. And he said, 1, Nashville has to come out and apply pressure. And Nashville's wings and fullbacks have to get up the field because it means Charlotte's talented wings like Andrew Gutman and Joel Johnson are less concerned about going forward, and they've got to think about their defensive responsibilities. So far, Nashville has executed the game plan to a T 13 minutes in.
Well, and they have them so deep and so pinned in, Nashville does, that actually Johnson and Gutman are watching Belmar and Wynn to some extent, which is leaving Kosuke Kimura and Justin Davis wide open to be able to go in and create 2v1s on that sideline.
Brief moment of pause for Hassan and Dom. Anderson, former Manchester City Youth Academy player, is actually the starting goalkeeper for England in the U17 World Cup, a U17 World Cup in which England won. One of the top prospects in a football-mad country. Martinez locating Gutman, trialing Kamira. Gutman's blast, save made by Sparrow. Off of Davis, appeals for a handball, and no whistle given from Gustavo Solorio. It was a desperation save from Sparrow. I don't know if Davis knew anything about the shot.
It was a fantastic save from Sparrow. He did leave a half chance there that Nashville had to deal with. But Gutman faced up 1-versus-1 inside. You have to give that respect.
Rios shipped towards Melodo. Now Belmar. Gutman has recovered to defense. Kamira prospecting. Melodo has been everywhere early. Rios with his back to Tico. Good defending from the Frenchman. Two muscular players battling. Tico and Rios. Breathtaking beginning to this game. Saves. Good looks.
Near misses.
Martinez towards Oduro. He's acquired a backstage pass. Doyle recovers. Oduro 1-0. Charlotte against the run of play. The Independents strike first, and they silence First Tennessee Park.
So Odoro's very good on the dribble, and he's got Doyle faced up 1-versus-1, and he hits a nifty, neat little shot. He looks up off his right foot, bends it into that side post, right inside. Sparrow never moved. But, you know, it was the initial play of Gutman, who got the ball, went at, combined with Oduro, and Oduro was crafty on there, faced up 1-versus-1 against Doyle within striking distance, and he places it well.
Dom Oduro, the 33-year-old Ghanaian, played for 8 MLS clubs. There's only 22 in that league as of now. Scored 62 goals. His best season back in 2013. 13-goal output with the Columbus Crew. Was brought into Charlotte to do just that, score goals. And what a massive goal that is for the Independents. Hey fans, see the latest team content on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at our handle Nashville SC. Jim McGinnis and his team with just 1 victory this year. But Gary Smith, the Nashville coach, telling us, quote, they have, speaking of Charlotte, as much talent in that group as anyone we will face this season. Gary Smith also saying this game on paper is as tough as any. Nashville looking to respond. We'll have the opportunity with a Coca-Cola corner kick. Mosaic of positional players have ventured forward into the penalty area. Center backs joined by Rios. Center midfielders of Reed and LaGrassa as well. Launched in by Reed. It was Belmar climbing the back of Gutman.
It's a good in-swinger from Justin Davis. He finds Belmar on the back post. You could just see Belmar had a bit of his hands on the back of Gutman. Some referees may have called it, some may not. Uneventful, it would have been a goal kick no matter what. So an additional 5 yards for Anderson to be able to begin his service.
Nashville now tasked with something it has never done, which is turn a deficit into a victory. As a club, Nashville has been scored on first 16 times before tonight. They have never won a game in which they were scored on first. That's U.S. Open Cup and USL Championship combined. 13 losses, 3 draws when being scored on first.
And one of the things to be cautious of when you're at home and you're attacking and throwing numbers forward, you have to make sure that you're safe in the back, because exactly what just happened there against the run of play. Charlotte absorbs pressure, springs Gutman out, finds Udoro, who puts the ball in the back of the net, and you're down 1-0. You know, you've got to be very safe if you're going to be able to send numbers forward. You have to be productive in your passing and your movement and maintain possession of the ball.
Win. LaGrassa. Davis. Misplaced towards Rios. No nonsense from Tico. Curtis Anderson, the 18-year-old. 5 games played coming in. Winless in his last 3 starts. He replaced Brandon Miller, a very popular goalkeeper with Charlotte. Actually had an outstanding game against Nashville last year. Jim McGinnis turning towards his youthful goalkeeper. Such a big prospect. How about this, Ronnie? Goalkeeper Anderson was sold as an 11-year-old to Man City. $20,000.
So you're saying I have 2 years to get my son prepared. He is a goalkeeper. He is 9 years old. He did have 2 games today. So I'm going to guess that he's probably on someone's radar.
Here's Nashville seeking the equalizer. Win has isolated Taku. Davis's cross is low. Fluffed by Endom. Palms up apology from Endom and claimed by Anderson. Hey fans, get Nashville SC updates and alerts all year long by clicking follow on ESPN.com.
Yeah, I think Anderson might need to reconsider the ball that he keeps striking towards both Doyle and Tribbett, because they are effortlessly winning every ball that is placed there. If there's a strength to the back line of Nashville, it's Tribbett and Doyle in the air.
Melodo exploring the far flank. Hounded by Aaron Mons. Combining with Kimura. LaGrassa. Belmar. Returns to Melodo. Belmar, Rios, and Wynn arriving, awaiting the service. It comes from Kimura. Steered backwards by Taku. And now Charlotte a chance to break with a speedy Damaduro. Long busting run from Matt LaGrassa to recover. Momentarily slowing Charlotte's advance. Taku. Young and spry Zion Jones. Signed in late April. Was briefly under contract with Schalke, one of the most valuable clubs in the world. Team that's traditionally very strong in the German Bundesliga. Nearly was relegated this year, though.
I was going to say, not this year.
Alan Wynn broadcasting his pace, slaloming through. Anderson couldn't have picked that up. Would have been a free kick if referee Gustavo Solorio had interpreted it as an intentional back pass.
I think I would have liked to have seen Alan Wynn not slow down on that. Put him under even more pressure.
LaGrassa. Wynn is tucked into a soft spot. It's Alan Wynn, parried away. Rebound opportunity, Belmar save again, and Lebo Melodo stabs it home. Nashville right back in it.
So Wynn strikes a great ball. Anderson doesn't deal with it very well, and he leaves a half chance for Belmar, who then strikes it. Anderson leaves another half chance for Meloto to finish right here. And I would say the second save from Anderson was quite good, but unfortunately he left chances in very dangerous areas, and Meloto doing exactly what Meloto needs to do, framing the goal, looking for that half chance, and he puts it away.
It is Lebo Meloto's first goal of the season, and Ronnie, my goodness, who on this team is not in form now? When you think about the players who have scored recently, who play attacking positions for Nashville. Meloto, Belmar, Rios, Wynn, these are all players that have scored in the last 8 days.
Well, and that's what Nashville was missing last year, isn't it? Some dynamic, dangerous, unpredictable attacking players. And we're seeing it now. When you see the addition of players onto this roster that can score goals.
Nashville now looking to snatch the lead. Enthralling affair at First Tennessee Park. Davis's cross. Rios! Couldn't connect. Get the contact he craved on the header.
It's a well-served ball, driven right in. Rios gave it a great effort on that near post. A little bit of a diving head ball attempt. I think a bit of wishful thinking. Think he was going to get that foul called. However, a really great effort. Daniel Rios, if that ball is within striking distance inside the 18, he is going to put a body part onto it. That's what makes him a great finisher.
Kimura. Now Meloto, the goal scorer. Let's take a look at the goal, Ronnie. There are shouts for offside. So there's the shot. There's the first one. Here's the rebound from Belmar. Look where Meloto is. He is in front, or in this case, behind the last defender. By the letter of the law, that should be offside, unless there's another defender off camera.
Which is unlikely from the angle that was there.
So a controversial equalizing goal for Nashville SC. It was such a chaotic sequence. There were few appeals from Charlotte, both coaching staff and players. Well, Nashville SC is back in action Wednesday, May 29th, 7:30 at MTSU's Hayes Stadium in Murfreesboro when they take on the Charleston Battery in U.S. Open Cup action. Tickets to the showdown not included in season ticket packages, but they can be purchased at NashvilleSC.com. That'll be the second time that Nashville plays Charleston this season. First go around did not go as planned for the boys in gold in Low Country. 3-1 losers to Charlotte on the road just a few weeks ago. Charleston, the last team below the top division in the United States to actually reach the U.S. Open Cup final.
Charleston has such a storied program. Tremendous amount of respect for how they've sustained and maintained in the USL environment. Of course, who wouldn't want to go play for Charleston and live in Charleston?
Says the person who coached in Charleston.
Says the person that absolutely loves Charleston, South Carolina.
Well, Joel Johnson has found an acre of space on the right flank. His cross is bent towards Oduro and embargoed by Liam Doyle.
I do like the quick restarts from Nashville, trying to get on the front foot, keeping the tempo upbeat.
Now Justin Davis has punched this ball out because he looked towards the far sideline and Carlton Belmar was down being tended to. For Nashville without Cameron Lancaster tonight. Took a knock in training in the run-up to this game.
I didn't see what happened to Belmar since it was off our sight view and outside of the run of play. He definitely is laboring a bit.
Gary Smith called him, quote, a thoroughbred of an athlete. Also been a workhorse this year, one of 2 players for Nashville to play in every match. That is U.S. Open Cup included. The other one is 20 in gold in your picture. That's Matt LaGrassa. '29th minute. Charlotte took the lead early from Dom Maduro. Nashville leveled things in Music City. A controversial, potentially offside goal scored by Lebo Maloto. Doyle surveying the scene towards a galloping Alan Wynn. Down in the heat and on the field is our Kelly Glendinning. Kelly, what's up?
Thanks, John. Chatting before the game, Gary mentioned that they were keeping an eye on the temperature at the center of the field. I know you mentioned earlier 82 degrees or hotter means a water break. And I did ask him if he would want one and if it disrupts the flow of the game. And he said it honestly just depends on the situation that the team's in. Break or no break, Gary just wants to make sure that the team stays in a rhythm and remains on the same page throughout the game.
Thank you, Kelly. Coming for the man who actually gets to drink water on the sideline. Perfectly timed as Nashville beginning the outbreak at the feet of Daniel Rios. LaGrassa, the goal scorer Maloto, flopped in towards Rios, deflected on the way by Taku, chased down by LaGrassa. Win, Rios, back for Win. Tremendous combination work between the wing and Nashville's star forward.
It just seemed too good to be true for him, I think. Looked up, great combination. Look, he sets it up, looks in, Rios checks and gives him a 1-2 inside. All he has to do is keep it low, put it back where it came from to that far post, and his name would be up in lights. Nashville would have a 2-1 lead.
Well, Nashville fans, want to secure your place in line for 2020 MLS tickets? Check out Nashville SC Flex Plans. These plans start at only $11 per match. You can choose a minimum of 3 home games to attend this season. Purchase your Flex plans today at NashvilleSC.com. Flag is up from the near side assistant referee, Brooke Mayo. Offside call going on Charlotte. Nashville's last home game in USL Championship action until the latter part of June. Big road trips coming up for the boys in goal. Win. LaGrassa. Davis has been a factory of crosses in this first half. Win blowing right by Indom. It's Alan Wynn carrying through, trying to throw it on top. And it's last touched by the bombarding winger, perhaps deflecting off of Tico and hitting Wynn on his exit towards the boundary.
Oh, what a great face-up. 1 versus 1. He gets all the way to the end line. Decides he's going to keep driving into the near post. Oh, that's a good call. Very good call. Caught the heel of Wynn.
Alan Wynn just isolated Hassan Indom, an MLS rostered player on loan at Charlotte, and took it right at him like he was standing insane.
Well, he didn't just face him up. He laced him up. He tied him up, got at him, got in behind him. And that's not the first time he's done that today. To me, Endom looks a little bit disinterested in defending so far in this match. He's keeping his shape, he's given direction, but when he's been called upon in a 1 versus 1 duel, he hasn't set up to the task.
Kent Trevitt, crafty work, and almost a double nutmeg. How about that from a center back?
I like the mentality. Oh, Trippett's going for it right there. Great effort. Down and then up. Tidy little touch right around Gutman on the side. You would swear he was a flank player.
Nakamura. Even if he got there, the assistant referee was ready to hoist the flag. Ken Tribbett, acquired from Harrisburg City, Penn FC, over the offseason. Leads all the defenders in minutes in this campaign. Does have MLS experience as well. 23 appearances, including a full 90 in a playoff game for the Philadelphia Union several years back.
And there he was right there in the air again.
Johnson has rarely found room to maneuver forward. When he does, he's been repelled repeatedly by Nashville's defense. Nashville spreading the attack. LaGrassa. Davis paired with Wynn on the flank. Charlotte winless in 5 straight. Only win this year came on April 16th versus Bethlehem, dating back to 2018. Charlotte has won just one of its 16 most recent road matches. Rios has sent Belmar on his way. Responsible defending from Andrew Gutman, and out for the Coca-Cola corner kick. How do you defend this Nashville team? Belmar on one side, Allen Wynn on the other.
Well, Charlotte has no answer. The flank play has been exceptional. What they're not doing is getting very rewarded for it yet. However, if it continues to be bright like this, I don't know how long Charlotte can withhold that type of pressure.
Gutman first to it. Wynn is preparing a drive, slammed off the Charlotte defense. It's an important poke from Belmar.
Fabulous poke from Belmar. Saved a goal scoring opportunity. That would have been incredibly dangerous.
So Nashville last year, the story throughout was the team's just not scoring enough goals. Had a fabulous defense, but in the end, the goal output leaving much to be desired at the conclusion of the season. Gary Smith saying, well, let's go get some strikers. He did just that. Got Daniel Rios, got Cameron Lancaster, Carlton Belmar on the wing. The response from Nashville has been, in some cases, record-breaking. 5 goals in 1 match against Swope Park last week. They're the 2nd highest scoring team in the USL Eastern Conference. The reason why that's so important, Ronnie, is the teams that succeed at the end of the season and in the playoffs in the USL historically have been offensive-minded teams. Of the 5 top defenses in the USL last year, only 1 made it out of the first round of the playoffs. That was FC Cincinnati. And then even FC Cincinnati knocked out in the 2nd round by New York Red Bulls too. Enzo Martinez, a patient approach. Denied on the near post by Reed. Maria clanged off of Wynn. Retrieved by Afrim Taku, Albanian. Launched toward Indom, who's lurking in the area. And Sparrow controlling the airspace.
It's good to see Sparrow's range on that ball. Coming in very sure-handed. Under pressure. Routine save for him. You know, one of the components that we didn't mention a second ago when we were talking about Nashville is Lebo Moloto was missing with that injury through the later part of the year. And I think that took some of the dynamic attack away from Nashville. And then Nashville played, for the most part, in that 3-5-2, which was a lower restraining line when they were defending. So at times, it looked a lot like Charlotte is defending today with that 5-back. And that is a lot of space for those Nashville attacking players to cover, to get forward, to be a goal-scoring dynamic team. Unlike this year, in this 4-2-3-1, they've got a great point person in Rios. That's a good target. He's a good hold-up player. He's a very good finisher. And then he's surrounded by dynamic athletic players.
And a playmaker in Moloto is on the ball. He was the man who provided the response to the Charlotte opener. Reed, win again. Well, fans follow Nashville SC and the rest of the USL Championship all season long on ESPN Plus, home to the USL, MLS, and more. Sign up today at ESPNplus.com. Doyle enlisted into the progress. Win. Working out of a tight area is Davis. They explore the entire width of the pitch. Camira's cross is a good one towards Rios. Crashing in is Davis. Now LaGrassa is always leaning back. Pulled out the wedge instead of the driver.
So an average right here, average touch, plays in, ball's okay, that's played back into LaGrassa. But what we're seeing right now in this game is Nashville has so much of the ball. Charlotte's defending with 11 players behind the ball. Nashville's pinging the ball from side to side, and they're getting a service. So what Nashville needs to really think about at halftime when they have a conversation is, how can we win the second balls? If we're going to continue to serve those balls into the box, and Charlotte, with the large numbers that they have, how can, if they're going to win the ball when we serve it in, how can we be there like Moloto has been, like Wynn has been, like LaGrassa just was? How can we be there to pin that ball back in and put that ball on frame?
As you were talking, Joel Johnson found himself in a tricky area. Boy, Nashville could have been in on goal with Rios. Instead,
And
the whistle.
well, and Wynn was poking dangerously, had that elbow a little bit high.
Well, soccer fans, get your official Nashville SC gear, including MLS styles, at NashvilleSC.com. Reed. Belmar. Aduro touching around Camira and inspiring a foot race down the far wing. Clairvoyant defending from Doyle. Well, Gutman is listed as a left back. Sure doesn't look like it in his positioning on the field. Davis rolled a long ball into the path of Belmar.
Look at those young, talented girls right there. That's some strong girl power on that screen. Supporting their team. You know that warms my heart, right?
Could be your future players.
Absolutely. I'm actively recruiting as I sit here.
Not dropping 20K on 11-year-olds, though, like Man City did with Curtis Anderson, the Charlotte goalkeeper.
I don't have that good of an eye, nor that many guts.
closing moments of this first half. Started out at breakneck pace. Charlotte scored first. Nashville answered from Lebo Maloto. Nearly halfway done. Stuck in a deadlock. Davis towards Daniel Rios. Can he get there? The answer is yes. Squaring up on Gutman. Belmar. Kimura. Nashville probing, prodding, looking for a crease in the defense. Remix the approach towards Belmar. And purposeful defending from Gutman. Andrew Gutman at one point was a Nashville SC player for just a few days. They signed him on loan from Celtic, a team in Scotland. And then complications. He's got homegrown rights with the Chicago Fire in Major League Soccer, with Nashville being a future MLS team. There were complications with the transfer, or the loan that is, and eventually he found his way to Charlotte just several days later. Big time prospects. Played his college soccer at Indiana, won the Herman Trophy, which is the equivalent of college soccer's Heisman.
Well, and Indiana is one of the most storied men's soccer programs in history.
Maria isolated on Davis. Goal kick, Nashville. Connor Sparrow unbeaten as a starter for the boys in gold. 5 starts, 4 wins. He's continued to alternate with Matt Pickens. 2 games on, 2 games off. Sparrow did play the Open Cup game on Tuesday, so you wonder if this is the pattern continues. If it's Matt Pickens next.
You know, if you're Gary Smith, this is a good problem to have when you have 2 very capable goalkeepers.
His words, 2 first-choice goalkeepers.
That's right.
Dying embers of the first half. One last surge forward for Charlotte. Johnson. Past the added 1 minute. Taku. Jones. Punched out by Reed, and that'll do it. 45 minutes down, 45 more to go from First Tennessee Park. Charlotte takes the lead early from Damo Duro, and then Nashville responds with a goal from Lebo Maloto. Goalkeepers have been busy in this one as the teams head to the dressing rooms. It is our halftime presented by Nissan. Quick thoughts on the first half, partner?
Now, it's a little sketchy back and forth. I think Charlotte has a really low restraining line, and I think Nashville's going to have to keep moving that ball laterally, try and find pockets, and they're going to have to pull Charlotte out higher to defend. And in order to do that, they're going to have to keep the ball hot and keep it moving. And then also the second point that I would say is if they're going to continue to serve balls into the box and not be on the recipient part of that, they're going to have to get the second chance that comes out right outside the 18, striking from distance.
Nashville looking for its 3rd straight win in all competitions. Lebo Maloto has brought things level here at First Tennessee Park as the first half concludes. Team to the dressing rooms. 1-1 in Nashville. It is our halftime presented by Nissan.
Welcome to Nissan Halftime. If there's one thing that Nashville is known for other than great music, it's great food. Daniel Rios took to the town to try some spicy flavors with his teammates. Check it out.
You need your brakes checked or alignment as well?
Oh yeah,
While we wait.
So we can make time in the tacos, huh? We can leave the car over here. Yeah, good.
What was the other one you got? Barbacoa?
Barbacoa.
Sí.
¿Una barbacoa?
Sí, una barbacoa.
Es bueno pastor y lengua mixteado. Es rico.
Sí, sí, sí.
That was
Right.
together?
Right.
Pastor and lengua together?
Try la lengua.
Okay, okay.
Try that one.
Yeah. Sí, sí, sí. Lengua. Basically, lengua is tongue. I'm about to eat. What type of tongue?
Of the res.
Of what animal?
De la res.
De la res.
Sí,
That's
sí.
a cow?
De la
Okay.
de la vaca.
Okay, so about to eat cow tongue on top of pastor, which is obviously spicy pork.
You read it. Obviously. ¿La de niña o la de hombre?
Hombre!
Dale pues. Toma. Ey, no, como hombre, esa es una niña.
Hombre. Some very hot stuff. I'm gonna do it.
Vámonos.
You wanna go to the back and sit? Dale. Let's go sit
Vamos.
down. Give me more. Give me more.
Sin miedo, sin miedo. Don't be scared.
I'm not.
You don't know what he's doing.
Papi, you think I lived in Florida? You think I don't eat this stuff?
No, bro. You will be sweating in 2 minutes.
I'm already sweating.
Yeah, because of the spicy, bro.
Oh wow.
Why you don't want to say like you are spicy, like you are feeling it right
It's
now?
spicy, but
You can talk.
Just a reminder, you can catch that full video on YouTube. We'll have a breakdown of first half highlights and stats after this.
Beautiful night at First Tennessee Park. About the mid-80s at start. Maybe it's just going to dip into the 70s by the time this one is finished. As we welcome you back to our halftime presented by Nissan. John Freeman, Ronnie Woodard, 1-1. Nashville SC and the Charlotte Independents. Let's take a look at our first half stats, and they are heavily skewed towards Nashville. It was Damaduro for Charlotte who opened the scoring in the 15th minute. That goal erased by Lebo Maloto by the 23rd minute. But looking at the stats and just looking at the game without the numbers, you feel like Nashville is dominating this game, right, partner?
Well, there's no doubt. If you're watching the game, you see Nashville dominating. If you're looking at the stats, you see dominating Nashville. However, what you don't see is any reward for the play that they're putting onto the field. And their final execution has not been pristine. They've had several good looks on frame by multiple players, and they have not converted those chances. Thus, they've allowed Charlotte to go into the locker room at halftime even and still thinking there's a chance that they can come out of here victorious.
Those are your numbers after 45 minutes of soccer as Nashville looking for its third straight victory, USL Championship and US Open Cup combined. 1-1 at half. We'll show you our halftime highlights when we return. Beautiful night in Tennessee and at First Tennessee Park. The moon has risen as Nashville SC and the Charlotte Independents in a battle here in Nashville as we welcome you up to our broadcast booth. John Freeman joined by Ronnie Woodard. And well, it was a competitive start to this game. Nashville came out flying, but it's Charlotte who got the first goal from Damaduro. Eventually, Lebo Maloto answered. Let's go ahead and take a look at our first half highlights. They will start with the onslaught from Nashville SC. They came out flying, Ronnie.
Oh, they absolutely did. And here you see Belmar lacing up Gutman, getting the ball across, almost gets a half chance and a deflection. Alan Wynn to Justin Davis, just a bit outside.
Then Charlotte started to show its fangs. It was Andrew Gutman getting involved. Shout for a handball there against Justin Davis, and here's the goal from Maduro.
No, it's just finished expertly. He bends it right around Doyle into that near post. Sparrow was blocked, couldn't see it. And then here's the goal.
There's the chaos of the goal. There were shouts that Lebo Maloto was offside. From that angle, it certainly looked so. Don't have another camera angle to get a definitive opinion on it, but nevertheless, a controversial equalizer for Nashville SC. Well, the sun is set behind the stadium. Let's go ahead and take a look at the weather for tonight and the rest of the week from our friends at Fox 17.
Hello,
Hello, soccer fans. I'm meteorologist Justin Chambers from Fox 17. Hopefully enjoying the game as you're heading out for the evening time. Our temps are going to stay in the mid-70s. Definitely warm with those temperatures well above average with partly cloudy skies. We're going to see a few showers and storms rolling through by the time we get into Sunday. And with some of those showers, they're going to see the potential of an isolated thunderstorm, especially late into Sunday afternoon and into the evening time. And then some of that rain left over into early Monday as well. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Ronnie, this is certainly the hottest game of the year so far for Nashville SC. I know we're still in May and there will be hotter games as we head into the summer schedule, but as a coach and you adjust for this second half and especially for the players, how does the real first taste of the heat impact this game going forward?
I think the fortunate part for Nashville is they train in the heat of the day. You know, when you're out on the pitch training in the morning and mid-morning hours, you tend to get a little more acclimated to the heat. And so I think they're well prepared, and I think that I don't think it's going to be a very large issue for the rest of the match, especially because it's dropped in temperature. It's actually very comfortable out here right now. It's a perfect night to play and a great night to watch.
Nashville's 11 to start this second half, appearing unchanged from the first half. We'll have the official attendance later. It does appear, just using the eye test, that this is the largest attendance of the season so far. For obvious reasons. Rain, rain, and more rain whenever it was Nashville SC game day. Well, Nashville, a chance to do something it has never done before as a club. That is to go a goal down and emerge with 3 points. They have never erased a deficit and turned it into a victory. They have that opportunity tonight.
And a really good opportunity. Let's be honest, they dominated the first half. Better execution within the box and their final pass. They're gonna blow this game open.
Charlotte in blue and Nashville, the boys in gold. And Joel Johnson flying out of the gates here to start the second half. It's won a free kick at an opportune location. You wonder, when will Daniel Rios make his impression on this match? Player who is second in the USL in goals. He'll come back to defend. A rare set-piece opportunity for Charlotte. It's the opposing figure of Enzo Martinez standing over it. Leads the team in assists with 3. Charlotte has made a substitution. Hassan Ndam is out, and Hugh Roberts is in. A center back swap, and Roberts around the penalty area. It's curled in towards Mons. Boarded by Belmar. Back in by Gutman. And cleared to safety and collected by Rios. First involvement for Roberts. Ndam appeared to struggle from the opening whistle, Ronnie, and rarely do you see a coach take out one of his defenders at halftime. And the on-loan Ndam will watch for the rest of the match, and Hugh Roberts in his place.
Yeah, he seemed disinterested in the match, to be honest. And Alan Wynn was really isolating Ndam and getting after him off of the dribble. And Ndam was just continuously, the service came from this side from Davis. Production came from this side from Alan Wynn. Everything came down the left flank for Nashville, and it was directly at Ndam, and he didn't rise to the challenge.
Daniel Rios quickly climbing the ladder of all-time leading scorers for Nashville SC. Now in their second season as a club. Tucker Hume actually holds the club record in all competitions with 10 goals, U.S. Open Cup and USL Championship combined. Rios was not in the 18 in the U.S. Open Cup match on Tuesday. been one of the hottest strikers in the league since he stepped foot in Music City. Elsewhere around the league right now, Tampa Bay leading New York Red Bulls 2-0 in the 77th minute. We were curious about the way that match would fall. If it were a draw, Nashville could be within 1 point of first place by the end of the night. Nevertheless, if Nashville were to come back in this game and win, they would be tied for second in the USL East.
Any way you look at it at this point in the season compared to this point last year, remarkable strides for Nashville.
Fantastic atmosphere tonight. One of the rare times that Nashville will attack away from its supporters in the second half. They often prefer to attack towards their supporters in the second half. Gary Smith saying gives his team that lift when they need it late. They didn't have a choice tonight, though. Charlotte won the coin toss. Maduro down. The foul call going on Liam Doyle. Or Kelly Glendenning is down on the sideline. Kelly, what do you have for us?
Thanks, John. I got the opportunity to speak with Gary Smith heading out of the locker room, and I asked him how they find that go-ahead goal after their first half dominance, and he said they need to find moments for elite play, individual play, or just find that perfect ball in the box. And he said that they got in good areas in the first half, but honestly that the final ball just let them down, and they need to maintain that pressure, and he really does think that Charlotte will buckle, and that is what his message was to his team during halftime. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Kelly.
Spot on. Thanks, Kelly. I think it was obvious to everyone that was watching, and especially to Coach Smith, that they were just missing one last component. And if they could just fine-tune that, and I think if they find the goal on the second opportunity, that they're going to find the third and they're going to find the fourth, and the gates are going to open. What they have to do is they have to pull Charlotte out into spaces so they can create opportunities for themselves.
Well, Select is the official ball supplier of the USL Championship. For the latest Select products and special offers, please visit selectsportamerica.com. Wynn has found the pocket of space. Belmar. LaGrassa. Kosuke Kimura pondering the destiny of his cross. It's hoisted high. No one home on the back post. Pressure and volume increasing at First Tennessee Park.
Great defensive presence by Tribbett. Steps in front on that 50-50 ball, then continues with his pressure and wins that ball higher up in the field.
Martinez able to work out of a tight area, win the throw in off the head of Alan Wynn. Jones. Studious defending from Davis. Strong hold-up play from Rios. Who will step up in the clutch? Nashville has incredible firepower out on the field. Belmar, Rios, Melodo, LaGrassa, all in there for Nashville, along with Allen Wynn. 5 proven goal scorers. It's Wynn. Pick the back post ball. Hunted down by Belmar. Kimura. Time to serve. Rios in a physical confrontation with Roberts. Will be a Nashville SC corner kick.
The last 3 balls that Nashville served into the box have been far post, and there's not been a runner on that back post. Everyone has been sucked in near the ball and where the service is coming from, and no one is resurfacing their run and pulling out and recycling and getting to that back post.
Coca-Cola corner kick. Lebo Melodo. Supply paused as Ken Tribbett and Aaron Mond in discussions. It's a long build-up. Service is whipped in and whistled wide. Thumbs up from Ken Tribbett, Nashville's center back, who's known for his prowess in the 18-yard box. Had a crucial goal against Pittsburgh on the road. Actually scored multiple goals last year for Penn FC as a center back, including one against Nashville SC. On the goal right now that Nashville SC is attacking towards. Rios has extracted possession off the feet of Mond, who repays the favor. Late whistle arriving from Gustavo Solorio. Well, Kelly Glendenning is down on the sideline. Kelly, go ahead.
It has really been the Allen Wynn show this game. He has reached a speed of 21.1 miles per hour. That is the fastest of his teammates. He also has run the most sprints and covered the most distance on the field. This is actually his third game that he has swept all 3 of those categories. So you could say he's really about to complete this trifecta of games. I think all he really needs to do is get a point. He needs to get an assist or a goal to complete that 3 for 3 games.
And that 21 miles per hour of Allen Wynn, when you compare that to data collected on Premier League players, that is in the same realm. Leroy Sané, Divock Origi. 2 big players.
Allen Wynn is a difference maker in these matches. With him on the field, he's incredibly productive in the Nashville attack. He's a box-to-box wide player.
Johnson. Could Charlotte find a shock go-ahead goal? It's Johnson towards Gutman. Into the path of Oduro. Back for Gutman. Liam Doyle able to finally dig it out, and Nashville a rare chance to counterattack. Nervy moments in the back for Nashville. They try and spring Belmar. Robust challenge from Mons. Whistle from Gustavo Solorio. Set piece for Nashville SC. Well, fans, the USL unveiled its elite youth platform, USL Academy. This allows clubs at all levels across the USL to develop its local youth and compete at the highest level. For more information, visit uslsoccer.com/academy. One of the youngest goalkeepers in the USL, 18-year-old Curtis Anderson. He waves off a player in the wall, and now just a one-man obstruction of Damaduro. Can Nashville go from a losing position in the first half to a winning position in the second?
Now, you know, last home game here, a goal was scored from this space with Justin Davis serving that ball into the back post and Liam Doyle circling it back.
Sure-handed from Anderson. Brave goalkeeping.
Didn't quite have the distance. Easily taken. Looks like a youngster. Plays like a seasoned vet.
And Nashville has conceded a free kick in a very prosperous position. It's Zion Jones on the floor. And several interested Independence players lurking around the Magic spray. Awaiting your analysis, partner.
I'm not. My analysis is I'm not sure what LaGrasse is mad about. I'm pretty sure he kicked him.
Oh, you're going guilty.
Yeah. I think you just quietly walk to the side when you give up a goal like a foul like that.
There is a steering committee of 4 players for Charlotte. Nashville countering with a 4-player wall requested by Connor Sparrow. Charlotte does have several scripted routines that they have displayed throughout this campaign. Is there another one here? Andrew Gutman is the left-footed player and Enzo Martinez, the right-footed player. It is Gutman. Left it untextured and without power. And apologies from the first-year professional.
Yeah, he just didn't find the center of it. I like the play. Stepped off, laid a little ball back, had the dummy run come over it, laid a little ball back into an on-running Gutman on his left foot. The left peg is which is where you would want it from him. He just didn't find the total part of the ball. Left that short, and as you said, with no power. But a nice scripted play.
Belmar. Successful defending from Mond.
It's good defending by Mond.
Well, fans, Nashville SC's next home game will be Saturday, June 22nd at First Tennessee Park against the Ottawa Fury. Single game tickets available online at NashvilleSC.com. June 22nd, a big layoff from home games for Nashville SC. Can they delight their home fans with a late goal here?
It'll give the supporters time to write some new songs. Get some new material. Get ready for a beautiful June day.
Nashville will make its first exchange of the evening. They will replace Alan Wynn. A lot of mileage tonight. And it is Ropampa Mensah in his place. Mensah, 21-year-old Ghanaian, has a goal this year. And the 2018 Nashville SC Young Player of the Year. And believe it or not, Ropampa doesn't get enough credit for his passing abilities. 7 career assists in limited action for Mensah. For Nashville. Nearly picking out Rios. Strong work from LaGrasse. And he has found Belmar, who's isolated Mons. A couple times now that Mon has spurned the advances of Belmar.
Mon's done a really good job because Belmar's difficult to deal with, especially when he's faced up and he's in that final third. He's creative, he's crafty, and Mon's did a really good job on the timing of deflecting any ball that Belmar's been trying to get in behind.
Coca-Cola corner kick, 63rd minute. Davis's service. Turned out by Rios. And Charlotte will make its first substitution. Actually, I apologize, their second, as Hassam Indam was substituted at halftime. And it's Nikki Jackson, player that will most likely be in their starting lineup as the season goes along, has been injured here at the beginning of the campaign. He will replace Zion Jones, and the reason Jackson wasn't in the starting 11, the injury working back from fitness, hasn't played a USL game since April 21st. He is one of their go-to players when you look at their roster. 3 goals in Major League Soccer for Colorado, a team that he is now on loan from. Actually played in a Major League Soccer match as recently as late March, and scored a goal for Charlotte against New York Red Bulls 2, one of the top teams in the league. So doesn't have full match fitness, but is a very capable weapon for Jim McGinnis and the Independents. Taku. Roberts. Johnson. Maria. Cut out by Kimura. Rios isolated. Meloto is the pivot.
If you're Coach Smith and you're tied at 1 apiece in the 64th minute, you're starting to think, okay, this has gone long enough. There has to be a sense of urgency from Nashville to put this game away.
Don't count Charlotte out just yet either.
Absolutely not. You're allowing them, every minute that ticks away is a point earned for Charlotte. And 2 points lost for Nashville in the big scheme of things. To put on a dominating performance and not be rewarded with the final score is something that's concerning. And so at this point, you can't count them out because it is knotted at 1.
Rios galloping towards this long ball. No nonsense defending from Steven Tico. Well, fans, join us Wednesday, May 22nd for the official away match viewing party at Von Elrod's. Nashville traveling to Birmingham next for a match on ESPN News. Mensah the substitute. Meloto. Mensah. Meloto carrying through. Has he earned the corner kick? Well, he's certainly trying to sell it. And Gustavo Solorio uninterested.
John, you'll be missed on the broadcast next Saturday. As
I've got other plans.
He's got some plans to share with the viewers.
Oh, come on.
Mr. John Freeman will be a married man this time next week. We want to wish he and his beautiful bride all the best on a lovely ceremony.
Thank you.
We'll expect Nashville to pull through a victory for you on your wedding day.
Don't necessarily know if I'll be tuning in next week.
Listen, if I know you like I think I might, I have a feeling you'll be following the Twitter feed at the reception.
Put me in a tough spot here, partner.
I sure did.
Might take a peek.
Exactly. See? I knew I could count on you.
Meloto closed down by Johnson. Reed scouting. Rios turning. Daniel Rios! That was deflected. It's a searing strike from Rios, seemingly out of nowhere.
It's a lovely turn. Good prep touch. Got deflected. He was going to bend that into that far post.
One of the great goal scorers in this league. Is there one in him tonight? Nashville pounding away with yet another Coca-Cola corner kick. Doyle. Anderson obstructed. And the whistle rings into the night from Gustavo Solorio.
Michael Reed did everything he could to distract Anderson, and he stood directly in front of them to try and distract. You can see it right here on this replay. Michael Reed is sealing off Anderson, but impending his movement forward, raised his shoulder a little bit. But in all fairness, Anderson did a very nice job of handling that type of pressure and dealing with that. You know, it's hard to believe he's 18 years old.
I think actually Reed was offside as well. So multiple reasons to blow the whistle.
Correct.
For Solorio. One of the first involvements for Nikki Jackson. Thunderous challenge from Mensah. Martinez. Martinez, most shots of any player in the conference without a goal. Player who grew up outside of Charlotte, went to North Carolina. Was playing in Major League Soccer last year for Colorado. Gutman advancing forward. Dealt with by Tribbett. Who did that last touch? The answer, at least from Gustavo Solorio, is Nikki Jackson, much to the dismay of the visitors from the Queen City. Look at the possession, Ronnie.
Well, I mean, everyone that's watching knows that that is really obvious in this game. And again, even more reason for Coach Smith to be concerned, impatient, disappointed.
And nearly 61% of the possession to Nashville, and most of it in the Charlotte defensive end. They will try once more. Gutman has gotten the best from Belmar. And then baits him into a foul. He is special. Gutman, where has he not been on this field? Up and down all game. Oh, and Charlotte is going to bring out an old warhorse. Jorge Herrera, 38-year-old Colombian, set to check in. Over 250 career appearances for Charlotte. Scored more goals than anybody for the club. Has a knack for scoring late acrobatic winners. Surely a foul there as Taku pulling down Melodo, and Gustavo Solorio asking for the exchange. There's Herrera replacing the goal scorer Dom Oduro. Oduro's night is finished. A sparkling 15-minute strike for Oduro. And Herrera, who brings in 2 goals this year, steps into the match. A perfect situation for him. Doesn't have to play the full game. Calling out the formation as well, perhaps.
I think they've made an adjustment.
Give you a minute to decipher. Melodo. Nashville wants to explore this far wing. Lurch forward from the left. LaGrasse's pass cut out by Roberts. Herrera's first involvement. Say he touched it after it went out of bounds. Be a Charlotte throw. Nashville looking to do something it's never done before. go down by a goal in a game and finish as the victors. They have never done it in club history. Being scored on first, 13 losses and 3 draws as a club, U.S. Open Cup included. Time running out to find the go-ahead goal. It's a crowded flank. Escaping from it is Taku. Turning is Maria. Inviting the attack forward. Taku. One of the longer spells of possession in this match for Charlotte. Hugh Roberts drifting ahead. Johnson has made an exploratory run over the tackle of Davis. Johnson couldn't clear the first man. Leaping header from Kimura. Turning is Martinez off of Doyle. More appeals for a handball. And Gutman besting Meloto. Gutman's cross. Whipped over the head of a frustrated Nikki Jackson.
Fortunate that that was over-delivered by Gutman. Charlotte's had some really great spells. Their tempo has been upbeat in this second half. Their bite has been a little bit stronger in this second half. And I think they've had, they've had more of the possession. They're starting to build and find pockets of Nashville.
Meloto. Hounded by Herrera. Well, fans, it's time to vote for today's Budweiser Man of the Match. Find the poll at the official Nashville SC Twitter account at Nashville SC. Mensah. Meloto. Back for Mensah. And Anderson using every second of the clock.
Daniel Rios did not take kindly to that at all. Words between Anderson and Rios.
Rios, this is his 4th career match against Charlotte. The previous 3 coming while a member of North Carolina FC.
Well, that just shows his sheer competitiveness. You know, Anderson's knotted at 1. They're looking at a draw, and he's wasting time. He's letting the clock tick out. So, you know, to Charlotte, getting a point is an accomplishment on the road, right? And to Rios, he wants every second so that they can have a victory and they can have more time on the clock to be able to fight to score that go-ahead goal.
Rios in those 3 previous games against Charlotte, 5 goals. All those coming last year. Kimura turning past Herrera. He's asked a lot here of Belmar. Belmar past Herrera. Towards Ropapa. It was high, it was hanging. Mensah had a chance at it, and Nashville will make a substitution. It's Darnell King. And he will replace Carlton Belmar. Another complete effort night from Belmar. He could barely get off the field. He's so exhausted.
And those are 2 sets of fresh legs that are on the flank for Nashville with King and Ropapa. You know, they should have enough gas in them and pace in them to be able to create some opportunities for Rios.
Nashville with just one substitution remaining. There's a high boot. It'll be the first card of the game. It will go against Justin Davis. Second yellow card of the year for Davis. More importantly, it has yielded a free kick in a quality position for Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. So Jackson did lower his head into the boot, which is what Davis is saying right there. Jackson did lower his head into the boot of Davis. However, the AR had a clear view and a definite opinion on it.
79th minute. Can Charlotte find a way through in this second half? The wrestling ensues already at the edge of the 18. Policed by Gustavo Solorio. Two-man wall for Nashville. Sit into a good area. And a leaping battle won by Doyle. Supporters willing their team forward. Some inspired advance. LaGrassa. Melodo. Full-blooded effort from Davis, who has to be careful. Was just awarded a yellow card. And it's a goal kick.
Again, Anderson leisurely grabs the ball. Chatting with his defense. Tick-tock goes the clock.
It's actually an exchange, the fourth official, to bring over some more magic spread to the official Gustavo Solorio. That was one of the reasons for the delay.
Did it run out?
Malfunction, I believe.
Malfunction. Like, weren't that many calls today.
Well, Nashville has turned it over into a galloping Enzo Martinez. Sending it wide for Jackson. Been steered on frame in front of tonight's Ashton Real Estate attendance of 6,918 at First Tennessee Park. They would love nothing more than to see a winner from Nashville.
It's good 1v1 defending. Never even close. Ball was far wide. Cause for no concern.
As dominant as Nashville was in the first half, I could say it's been rather even here in the second, at least by possession, but also in chances.
Yeah, Charlotte came out much stronger than when they went into the locker room. You know, they withstood pressure in the first half. Nashville only converted one opportunity.
They've illuminated the near side with Andrew Gutman. Trialing Kimura. Gutman goes down. It was a dangerous challenge from Kimura. It's a legal one, according to Gustavo Solorio. And isolated high up the field was Rios.
That was extreme wishful thinking by Gutman.
Martinez slicing through. Reed turns him backwards.
It's good recovery speed by Reed. Martinez had them isolated in that midfield. He's very quick on his change of direction in that midfield. Very active.
Take a look at the penalty shout for Charlotte. Will certainly force a decision.
Sure.
Gutman again, he has been irrepressible. Chasing Sparrow all the way to the floor.
Not the easiest ball that was played back to Sparrow from Tribbett. However, Tribbett did made a wide decision and played that ball wide, away from the goal. It did cause Sparrow to have to change his gait just a bit and get there.
Special city to play soccer in.
They love their team. There is no doubt about that.
Place would erupt if Nashville could find a winner. But Charlotte looking for a retort. Whistle came. The foul occurred when Michael Reed was hauled down. And here's the final substitution for the boys in gold.
Big Bird.
Lebo Melodo out. Tucker Hume in. Hume does have a goal this year. It came in Canada against the Ottawa Fury. Hasn't seen the field in 4 straight matches, US Open Cup included. A massive target. He's nearly one possession in a good area, but called for a foul on Aaron Mons. Hume partners well with Daniel Rios. In fact, it was Rios who complimented Hume, telling coaches he loves playing with him because he takes so much attention off of Rios. There is the striker duo that Gary Smith hopes can find that go-ahead goal late here in Nashville.
And the change in system. Nashville took off a midfielder in Melodo and added a forward in Hume. So now they're playing in a more traditional 4-4-2 with Hume as a target. And I expect we're going to see Rios playing a bit under him or looking to play in behind off of his flick.
Well, tonight's Budweiser Man of the Match, voted on by you, the fans. Number 10, Lebo Melodo. He spectates now as Nashville building the attack. It's Matt LaGrassa, the edge of the 18, hoisted in! Justin Davis, nearly with his first goal of the season.
Nice delivery, bent ball away from the goal. Justin Davis found the flight of it, got airborne, headed it down, but unfortunately right into the path of Anderson.
They race forward again. LaGrassa into the attacking third. Charlotte dropping back to defense. King turning into pressure. LaGrassa towards Ropapa. Was there a clash of heads? Based on the reaction, the answer is yes. It's Hugh Roberts slow to rise.
Oh, absolutely. Collision between Roberts and Ropapa. Look at this right there. Boom. He's up. Up and gave the thumbs up to his sideline. Again, Anderson is taking his dear sweet time.
And Doyle whistled for a foul. He wrapped his arms around Jackson. And Charlotte not only going to have a set piece, but also going to have more time tick off this clock. Nashville fully invested in defending this set piece. All 11 back behind the ball. Service comes in to a crowd, and it's going to be a corner kick for Charlotte. Nashville again committing 11 back to defense. Charlotte has only sent 6 players into the 18-yard box. Claimed by Sparrow.
Can't play quickly because no one's there. He's got to give his team a chance to get forward. Now they're going to have to build.
Nearing stoppage time. Davis. Mensah. It's Ropapa Mensah. Ropapa spraying it wide. This time, tussle results in a Nashville free kick and a yellow card for Jackson for time wasting. Into stoppage time we go.
I think Jackson was just the recipient of a booking on the behalf of all of Anderson's minutes that he's taken up.
Launch towards the crowd. Roberts went crashing into Hume. LaGrassa. Rios. Clutch defending from Enzo Martinez.
Fabulous defending.
Oh, and he sprung the counterattack here. It's Herrera launching an inquiry. Has pulled in Maria. Now Nikki Jackson cleared away by Tribbett.
Tribbett is a hero in that circumstance. That was destined for the back of the net. Excellent defending, getting in behind the goalkeeper. It's one of the first things you teach your youth players. If the play is committed on one side, can you get in and cover in behind your goalkeeper? And you don't see that it occurs in the game very often, but look at Tribbett. Immediately getting to that back post. He's looking at Herrera, clears it off of the line.
Vital defending from Tribbett. Charlotte could have nearly had their second win of the season. Jackson pleading for a call. Hume, it's good hold-up play. Darnell King down as he was in a collision with Gutman. He'll be out for a throw-in for Charlotte. I mean, the Independent's going to take their time. No one even near the assistant referee. See Gustavo Solorio taking a look at his watch, telling 1 minute to Andrew Gutman. Maybe one final push forward here for Nashville. It's Hume, has pulled forward Davis. It stays with Davis. Mintz in the box, as is Hume. Acrobatic clearance as far as Matt LaGrassa. Pinballs around Enzo Martinez. Oh, he's gone down softly. And that may be it from First Tennessee Park. We are past the allotment of stoppage time. Now only one person in the building knows how much time is left. It's the center official, Gustavo Solorio. And that is it. 3 whistles ring into the night. And a point apiece between Charlotte and Nashville. The Independents struck first with Domaduro. Nashville countered just 8 minutes later in the first half with Lebo Maloto. A goal apiece and a point apiece from First Tennessee Park. Still a lot more to talk about with this one. We'll have our save of the game. We'll have your final stats. We'll take a look at some of the highlights. Jim McGinnis's team collects point number 6 of the year. And Nashville sees its 2-game winning streak in U.S. Open Cup and USL Championship matches combined come to an end. Well, that's it from Middle Tennessee. Still one more segment in our post-game show. We'll break it all down. Nashville SC and the Charlotte Independents, a goal apiece tonight. Fans filing out of First Tennessee Park as Nashville SC and Charlotte Independents a point apiece tonight, a goal apiece tonight in Middle Tennessee. Nashville SC would like to thank our corporate partners, Nissan, Vanderbilt Health, Dex Imaging, Budweiser, Puckett's, Kroger, Coca-Cola, MyTV30, and Fox 17. I'm John Freeman, joined by Ronnie Woodard. And Ronnie, let's go ahead and take a look at the digits of this match. Nashville SC, certainly more shots. When we looked at these at the end of the first half, it was so heavily skewed towards Nashville, but Charlotte really did fight back, and it was a relatively even second half.
It was a tale of two halves. You know, the first half, Nashville definitely had total control of the game, which it was goal looks on frame, whether it was possession of the ball. But then you came out in the second half and Charlotte had a new life. They made one substitution at halftime, and the impact on the game was monstrous. They began catching a little bit of a rhythm, and they ended up keeping the ball a bit more and put Nashville in a precarious spot where they had to find the back of the net, and they didn't.
All the goals happened in the first half. Damoduro in the 15th minute, Lebo Maloto in the 23rd, and it's also the half that produced our save of the game. Let's go ahead and take a look at our save of the game. It came from that man, Connor Sparrow of Nashville Soccer Club. This highlight from the first half when Charlotte was taking the brunt of Nashville's attack and then producing some very ferocious counterattacks.
And Gutman off the dribble, hits a good ball. Sparrow look, here he is, takes on, finds this little tiny window. Sparrow makes the save, but really the second save of the game would have been Justin Davis on that half chance that Sparrow left. He did a great job of making his body big. It deflected off of the side of his body, and a goal was avoided from the work of the double save from Sparrow and Davis in that transaction.
So with the draw, Nashville SC in 4th in the USL Eastern Conference, now 1 point behind St. Louis FC. In 2nd place, New York Red Bulls 2, which sit at 20 points. So Nashville very much tucked within the top part of the USL Eastern Conference table. And oh, what a point that was for the Independents, number 6 of the year, but perhaps that gets them trending in the right direction with the talented roster that they have. Partner, I want to say thank you. Last thoughts on this one?
Last thoughts. Disappointing result for Nashville. They dropped 2 points on the day. One of the things that we talked about with Coach Smith this past week is he didn't want to be the beginning of Charlotte's rise and them catching their steam. And unfortunately, they got out with 1 point today. Want to wish you the very best of luck next Saturday in your wedding.
Hope there's no luck needed.
I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope the sun is shining. And then we're going to miss you on the broadcast, and we'll look forward to seeing you when you get back.
I certainly appreciate it. Thank you, Ronnie. That's it from First Tennessee Park. Nashville SC and the Charlotte Independents collide and cannot find a difference tonight. 1 goal apiece. The first one came from Damoduro in the 15th minute. Lebo Maloto canceled it out in the 23rd. Several saves, several good opportunities follow. But at the end of the night, when they turn the lights off, both teams will have settled for a point apiece. Big thank you to everybody involved in our broadcast tonight. For my partner, Ronnie Woodard, I'm John Freeman saying so long from First Tennessee Park. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with us.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.